friends, it's Brittany and Ink and Papyrus and welcome back to my channel. I know what you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's so sad. She didn't buy herself anything this year. No Christmas crafting supplies. Like, is it even Christmas if you don't buy more craft supplies? Yes, in fact it is, because if you're anything like me, you have stuff left over from last Christmas and the Christmas before that and the Christmas before that. So no, there will not be any Michael's paper pad reveals this Christmas. There will not be any more embellishment hauls because I have done that over and over and over every year. And I have so many things that a few weeks ago, when I was going through things, because I've really been focused on using up the supplies I have, it was like Christmas because I totally forgot that I had any of this stuff. And this year's going to be a little bit different. This Christmas I am focused on decluttering, using the stuff that I have, which by the way brings you a lot of satisfaction. Don't be worried about ruining your pretty things. Use your pretty things. I'm telling you, it brings you happiness and satisfaction, and it does. It frees up new space to bring home new things when you find them. But this year it's going to be different. Like I said, we're going to be focused on using up the stuff we have. And I want to spend my crafting time making a lot of my own embellishments. Not that there's anything wrong with digital kits or buying embellishments, but I really want to focus on making some new Christmas embellishments, putting my own spin on things. That's just how I feel the most satisfied and happy when I'm crafting. And so today I'm going to take you, we are going to look through all this Christmas stuff that I know I have laying around. I haven't seen it in probably forever, and we're going to talk Christmas crafting, ton of new ideas for embellishments, and kick this Christmas season off right. I hope to give you a ton of ideas and inspiration. So thank you so much for being here, and let's get to it. I want to point out that I did a ton of searching for this stuff because it's not like I have a Christmas shed, maybe I should, of crafting supplies, but I have books, Christmas books on my bookshelf, and Christmas stamps in with my stamps, and Christmas paper cardstock in with the rest of the cardstock. So this was actually really good because it forced me to take inventory of what I already have. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it is like Christmas because I found a ton of stuff I totally forgot that I had. So let's take a look through these first and foremost. So these I got all except for this one I got at the thrift store. This I think I just got on Amazon, and I do like using coloring pages in my signatures. Some of these are really detailed and I'm not patient enough to color all of them. Some of these, like, I will fussy cut out the images. Of course, it can be really difficult sometimes to pick which side. I have this scanner, and so this goes for like any crafting supplies, papers that you're using where you have to pick between a front and a back. I have this scanner app on my phone where it doesn't look like you took a picture of a picture. It actually truly does a good job of scanning it, and so you can use that to print it out later. Look at that. Oh, beautiful little Russian doll. So many pretty pages in here. So don't be afraid to use coloring pages in your signatures. Oh, and if, like, this is so intricate, sometimes what I'll do is, if I'm really not feeling patient, so first of all, you can make these into bite-sized pieces. You can get your paper punches, do circle punches, make buttons, whatever you want out of them. You can cut out shapes by hand. You can fussy cut these out. If you want to create an entire page, just use the entire page, and you don't want to get in between all the lines. A lot of times I will like loosely watercolor paint these and just put a little splash of color. So I'd put a little splash of silver, a little splash of blue. I was so excited to find these books at the thrift store. 1997, oh my gosh, what a time to be alive. You can tell how like old this is. It's not like vintage, it's just people looking kind of silly in their teased hair and really big thick glasses. But like, look at the images, they are very cute. Also, you can cut out these recipes. Look, you can cut this out and do, make a pocket out of it, use it in a journal layout. You can even just use these pages in, in their entirety and bind them into the signatures. If you do, I recommend grabbing a craft knife. If you tear them out, they'll be really jagged and you'll be really sad. But yes, some really, really cute things. Maybe we can try some of these crafts. I don't think I have the patience for most of these. Oh, look at those desserts. Isn't that amazing? Like, wouldn't that be cute? Just like fussy cutting these out to use in your little recipe section of your Christmas journals. Like, there are so many things you can do with these gorgeous images. I love the patterns. You can paint these, decorate them however you want. Oh, that reminds me, I actually made some stocking gift card holders one year that are really, really easy to put together, and they are adorable. They're just a great way to make a cute little gift card holder at home before Christmas. If you're interested, I will include that link above and in the description box. And even though I did use them for gift cards, I put a bunch in my Christmas journals just to use as pockets, and they're adorable. I usually put some of these pages in every year. I just think the idea of Christmas around the world, how different people celebrate and their traditions, is so fascinating. I'll definitely use Italy this year since I just got back from there, I think. But I just think the imaging, or the imagery, is so fabulous. Oh, look at this. Look how like vintage is that. Look, Christmas Memory Lane. Oh my gosh. You know how excited I would be if I could get these books the night before Christmas. Oh, and it smells so good. It smells so vintage. But like, look at those book covers. Look, $1.50 per copy. Is it too late? I want these. Maybe I'll send in my request. Who do I mail this to? Oh my gosh. Once I do use all, they don't make things like they used to. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I wonder what would happen if you mailed your check for $3. Oh, it doesn't have a thing anymore. Yeah, I would imagine they're not doing this anymore. But this is amazing. Once I use up, isn't that gorgeous? Once I use up all the pictures in these books, I will probably keep the covers and create a journal out of these book covers. You'd obviously have to make a new spine for this and deconstruct it, but it's pretty easy to do. That way you could get a nice, larger, thicker spine. Obviously this would be, you'd be creating a bunch of oversized pages in your journal, but this would be such a cool cover to have. The little bit of, the little wear and tear, you could easily fix, sand it down, add a little bit of blue paint there, add some book corners, and you could get this looking like new again. I usually put a couple of these in my journal signatures as well, the cross stitch pages. So much fun. Though it looks like, so certainly not all. Maybe I've used most of the Christmas ones. I guess they have ones for every holiday, and they have some beautiful images too. I have to remember to go back to this for Easter and use some of the Easter cross stitch ones from my Easter and spring journal. And I think I got this recently from the thrift store. I haven't looked really. Oh, wow, cross stitching in color. Oh, that Santa looks a little bit scary. Oh wow. Maybe I'll make some. When I saw this, my immediate thought was like, how cool would it be to make some Christmas postcards out of this? You just have to be clever about, look, it's like the sugar plums, clever about cropping the images. But, and then put, like, look how old these people look. But then like put the wording at the bottom of like the postcard or on the back. So speaking of the thrift store, I happen to be lucky enough that I picked up an entire bag of Christmas greeting cards for $2.50. This is like why I have so much, when I say I have so many Christmas supplies, a lot of it is because I have gotten things at the thrift store and gifted to me, which I'm really lucky for and grateful for. Maybe we'll have to do a video on just crafting with greeting cards, because I know you guys, a lot of you guys get really pretty cards, and even though I try and put my Christmas stuff out early, before you get a lot of cards in the mail, I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, you guys probably have cards from last year and the year before, and I do save a lot of my greeting cards. I have a bunch more next to me from last Christmas. I love Christmas cards with dogs on them, and I think that this is beautiful. So maybe we'll have to do a video of just crafting and the different things that you can do with greeting cards. I've seen people make entire journals out of greeting cards. You can make a mini journal just by, you know, gluing this down to some thicker cardstock or chipboard and making its own spine. You can fussy cut these images out and use them in any journal layout. You can open these up and make little folios with cute little closures. So many things that you can do with the card itself and the envelope. And sometimes, like, I've actually been inspired to make entire Christmas journals looking at the cards themselves. You know, like, I'll sort of look like this vintagey feel of the classic Christmas with Santa and the fireplace and the presents around the tree, the cute little kids. A lot of times I'll use the front cover of the card and then cut out the inside and use the words, whatever sentiments in other projects. Okay, while I was in my closet getting out my Christmas paper packs, I found this cute little shopping bag I've saved. Don't forget about all of the packaging of your favorite Christmas products. Oftentimes the Christmas packaging is some of the most adorable, well-designed products, which brings me to my next. I have some of this stuff from one of the toy boxes we get from my dog. I have a ton of Christmas packaging. Again, this is already cropped down. You can make an oversized postcard. You can, whenever you have packaging like this and it's got some writing on the side that you don't particularly like, I wouldn't want to cover this all up because this dog running along the lights is adorable. So all I will do is likely gesso over this advertisement part and maybe put a little picture, a small Polaroid of my dog with one of his Christmas toys. And here we have a postcard we can journal about our Christmas on. Absolutely adorable. Speaking of packaging, my favorite tea is back in stock at Trader Joe's. And tell me this isn't the cutest packaging you've ever seen. Every year I get Christmas cane green tea at Trader Joe's and I save the boxes because I find a way to use these differently. Now when you open it, you gotta be gentle because my narwhal keeps getting destroyed. Maybe I will try and color this in and salvage him somehow. Even the cutest little sentiment on the back. And maybe I'll just make, you could make a mini journal. Like, you probably want to do it on a box that you haven't torn to shreds like I have here, unfortunately. But, like, wouldn't this be the cutest little mini journal? Like, front, and add a little bit more chipboard for the back cover. And, oh my gosh. Maybe I'll make another little mini journal out of this to put in my larger journal. Speaking of packaging and other things, I always save my wrapping paper. A lot of times I'll save the gift tag too. I'll do a little bit of journaling about whatever it was that we were gifted. Sometimes I've even used wrapping journals to actually decorate the cover of the journal. These wrapping papers that are cropped down, you can fussy cut them out and make a cute little, like baseball cards almost, but for like these silly little characters, the little elves. I don't know. I always find something new and neat to do every year with wrapping paper. And in fact, one year I actually did jelly printing, image transfers. And I have to say, the new shiny, wrapping paper, the image didn't transfer all that well. It was actually the older vintage papers where I actually got some stellar image transfers. If you're interested in that, I will link that above and in the description box. But yes, I did jelly printing and image transfers in January from some old wrapping paper I had left over. And even the ones where the image didn't transfer well, like I could typically still salvage them to use them in another project. So if you're interested, I will link that. Here in my Christmas stash, I always find some embellishments I've already made. And at the end of every season, I typically have a ton of embellishments and snippets left over, as you can understand why. And so a lot of times I will make masterboard and snippet rolls as a way to clean up my desk. And here is a snippet roll. It is just sewn paper sewn onto each other. I think the sewing adds a lot of, it just adds some really nice detail. I usually put some embellishments and fussy cut some images. Here's some faux postage stamps. I will use die cuts. Sometimes I will use stickles and digital images. And I just like these because they're easy to store. Again, they, you just wrap it up like this and secure them with a safety clip here, a paper clip. I just think that it's such a fun way to clean up your desk. Like when you have all those bits and bobs left over, you don't feel like putting away. Just remember, if you use some really thick stuff, you'll probably have a hard time rolling them back up if you use really thick embellishments on them. So consider that. I have another one. This is a really long one. Especially like when you're not sure what to do with those little odds and ends of ribbon. They look great like interspersed throughout the snippet roll. So don't worry if they're only like little pieces you don't know what to do with. The little images left over in the, you know, the paper packs. I just had so much fun with this. Vellum. Things that are hard to glue down to paper that you want to sew. I just had so much fun with this. And so here's the you know, things that I punched out. Oftentimes I'll use this as trim. You can use these as belly bands and glue these down to your pages and put stuff under. You can use them as pockets and side tucks. You can use these to decorate a cover and layer, you know, the snippet rolls over top of each other. You can just cut out little snippets and use them in your page layouts. There really is no limit as to what you can do with these, and having little embellishments and stuff prepped ahead of time can make a huge difference when you feel like you're like totally when you're out of ideas and you're not sure where to go. Just layering these little bits on top of each other oftentimes helps break up a blank page and gives you ideas for what to do next. So when I say I encourage you to go through all your stuff and do a full inventory, it's because a lot of times you do already have stuff scattered in the most random of places, and I have all this Christmas fabric in my Christmas drawer that I totally forgot about. Now, a lot of times I will use, if I want a fabric cover, I will use, you know, Christmas fabric as the cover. But a lot of times I like smaller little fabric quarters like this because I will use these in embellishments. And I like having them out ahead of time because a lot of times it's much easier to sew onto your pages, obviously, before you bind your journal together and sew them, you know, onto pages and such. So I like bringing my fabric out sort of early in the process before I even start making my embellishments. I usually get some random kind of cards out. Not that this has anything to do with Christmas, but just having these Monopoly cards and time punch cards. I usually like find great ways to make embellishments out of these, and since this year I'm trying to make a lot more of my own stuff, I just thought they would be nice to have out. Again, you find all these things when you're going through things, and it's easier to pull them now than when you're in the thick of it. Here's some Christmas chocolate wrappers that I have left over from last year. Not sure exactly what I will do with them, but I will definitely make use of them. I grabbed some random I have some packs from eBay of random like paper snippets and things, and this just looked like Christmas. I also have these like Christmas sentiments, probably that I got on AliExpress, and they were at the bottom of my embellishment box, so I pulled them out. Lots of stencils. Again, I really want to make a lot of my own embellishments, so instead of buying a bunch of embellishments, you get more for your money if you buy stencils and things that you can use to craft over and over and over and over again. Sometimes I will just trace around the stencil, but more often than not, I will take my dauber and ink them on, or I will use distressed ink or coffee or teas to spray and put a paper down. A lot of times I will decorate my signature pages this way and get some good themes going, especially these small stamps. Remember, you can put a bunch of them on different pages at once. So for example, you could ink all of these bulbs onto a page and then underneath put Merry Christmas and ink that, or put the tree under it, or have snowflake falling onto this house. So there's so many different designs you can make with just a few different stencils, and again, it's a great way to break up a blank page, and it is a great start to really crafting any kind of embellishment. So speaking of using the supplies you have to create embellishments, one of my favorite ways to create my own embellishments without a whole lot of fuss is stamps. You really can't go wrong. You can stamp these onto your signature pages. You can fussy cut the images out. You can do like literally anything with stamps. I have a ton of stamps that have sentiments on them, little polar bear stamps, this kid singing Christmas carols, which is like hilarious. And then I have some Tim Holtz stamps. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of months ago I made Tim Holtz ephemera because the point was to not buy a whole bunch of expensive ephemera. It was an attempt to sort of make our own pieces of ephemera with Tim Holtz vibes and sort of, the Tim Holtz sentiments on them and things like that. Well, part of the way I did this was by using Tim Holtz like vintage stamps. And I will probably do the same. You guys, someone commented that they would really like to see a Christmas version. So maybe we will do that. The point is to not have to buy a whole lot of ephemera if you don't want, and create some Christmas ephemera with those vintage vibes that you can put in your journals that you will be really happy and satisfied with. Okay, snowflakes. I am guilty of. I do love these Tim Holtz stamps. Like, the level of detail is not like anything I've ever seen in another stamp before. The bridge, the snow scene with all the people, the horses, the sleigh. Absolutely love it. But again, if you're wanting to spend some money, but you want to buy some craft supplies, but you don't want to, buy $20, $30 ephemera packs that will be gone in a month, what you can do is invest your money in buying things that you can use over and over and over again, and that includes stencils, stamps, inks, things like that. I've definitely moved more towards buying stuff that I can use over and over and over and use to create my own ephemera stash with. So this is I'm almost scared to look in here. I have no idea what's in here. This was under my desk. This is probably my desperate attempt to clean up after Christmas was over last year, or maybe the year before. Okay, these are cute. Little foamy characters. There is no rhyme or reason as to why things are in here the way they are. Some cute little die cuts. I love this wrapping paper. I bought this years ago and I've saved little snippets. Okay, clearly like a folio I was making and did not finish. Imagine that. Oh, I love that Santa. I love the vintage papers. Okay, some old book pages, some Christmas songs, some hymns, some, oh, I remember making these. These were from my altered Festive as Heck book page pockets. I will link that above and in the description box. I love how these came out. Okay, a bunch of Christmas digital images, tags. Okay, this is a happy find. I had no idea I had any of this. Digital images I will need to cut out. I love the little tabs. So this is very like classic vintage Christmas postcards, which if you print digital images like this on regular copy paper, I find usually things look much better if you put them on some thicker white cardstock. You distress them a little bit. You maybe sew. I love the look of a sewn postcard. Can do. I guess it's a lot of just scraps, odds and ends. Here's some Tim Holtz wallpaper ephemera. It actually does feel like wallpaper, guys. It's so satisfying. This is why I really do not need to buy any more supplies. Can't believe that thought it even crossed my mind that I would buy more Christmas craft supplies this year. Thank God I didn't. Here's Christmas Around the World papers. Ah, some tissue paper. Save your wrapping paper and your tissue paper, guys. Ah, this is adorable. I will definitely do some decoupage with that. Here is some, so if you're looking to get some red and green pages in your journals, I cannot recommend food coloring enough. I did all these with food dye. I got fancy and tried to bake it and got that warped look, and it kind of tore, like it bubbled, which I think is kind of fancy. I actually like the bubbled burnt look. That's not what I was going for, but I will just tear pieces off like I have been and use them in my journals. My point is I don't know what my point is. Some recipe pages from Christmas books. Oh, does that not look divine? Brandied eggnog trifle. Plush pudding in wine glasses. Sold. Okay, I'm looking here. I have some book pages, some paper pads. It looks like I've gone mostly through. Okay, I love this project, and maybe I'll have to do this again. Essentially, I found these labels, those white printer labels at the thrift store, and just took my daughter and made a pattern of ink, and just took some gold gilding wax, made some stickles here, did some stamping, and you just peel these off and put them in your journals, and they are so fabulous. That's the crafting I want to do a lot more of. I know that sounds silly and sounds simple, but like just easy projects like that are really satisfying, that you can mass make over and over and over. It only requires basic supplies. Oh, I love this. This was a deconstructed gift bag. Maybe I'll make a journal out of it, or a folio, or just sew it to a page, but I love it. It's beautiful. These are little, these came off of AliExpress. I can almost guarantee it. Some of them don't make any sense. As you know, I'm sure you've bought things from AliExpress and you're like, I'm not quite sure what that is or what that means. Like, it's a sentiment that was supposed to be English, but you can't quite understand it. These all look pretty cute. I can definitely use these in my journals. Oh my gosh, the sheer number of stuff is overwhelming. This is all food-oriented stuff. Adorable. I love the Christmas advertising. Ugh, iced Coca-Cola with Santa. I've made journals before with just a food section, like where it was a Christmas journal and it had like a gift theme session and then a food session where it was section where it's like just recipes, just food oriented things, pictures of things we made, Christmas cookies. Maybe I'll have to pull my journals out and we can do a video, I love these, a video where we just look at old Christmas projects to inspire us for this new Christmas crafting season. In fact, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to, either at the end of this week or coming next week, I will put out a video where I just go through my Christmas journals and show you all the covers I've made, all of the embellishments I've made, page decorations, and I'm just gonna come at you with Christmas crap and just come at you full force and hopefully inspire the heck out of you. Okay, so I'm not gonna come at you with all my Christmas die cuts. Rather, I'm just gonna show you some of the actual, well, dies rather. I'm just gonna show you some of the cuts. I find it can be overwhelming trying to store these. I know, so I've switched to using a binder to store a lot of my ephemera, and I should probably do that with the little pockets for die cuts. And in fact, I did find these clear plastic pockets. I wish I had them. I was just looking at some of them, but it's definitely a better way. They're just like see-through pockets. Definitely a better way to store ephemera, and I will probably transfer these over. But as you see, cute little gingerbread man, moons, nutcrackers, trees. The tricky part is that obviously this is like a ski or a skate. So finding the other pieces to this, it would literally be like doing a puzzle. Now, if you're that dedicated, I applaud you. Someday, maybe before I'm dead, oh, like we could decorate ugly Christmas sweaters. Like, I love using my die cuts. Oh my gosh. Like, look how cute. Oh my gosh. And like, give this person a little bow. Oh my gosh, tell me that's not absolutely adorable as like an ugly Christmas sweater. You know? When you know, you know. Found this huge bag of Christmas embellishments. So I started becoming overwhelmed with the sheer number of Christmas stuff I had a few years ago, and I started putting a lot of it in a big Christmas bag so I could just pull the bag out every year. So instead of having to pull out washi tape, for example, out of the washi tape, obviously I haven't done a very good job because I still had to pull out my stamps, I still had to pull out my fabric, but this saves me from having to pull out, you know, certain papers and washi tape from the washi tape stash, etc., etc. Some of these are already embellishments. These were Christmas postcards that I made with you last year, faux Christmas postcard, though you could put an actual stamp and send this away. And I used these in my journals. I did not send them to anyone, but like I said, instead of faux stamps, you could just send them like this. I think this is adorable. So I made this with duct tape, though you could laminate these. I just put the papers and everything, I put strips of duct tape down. And then when I was done, I sealed it with another piece of duct tape. Die cuts look amazing in these. You can write on it and then put the duct tape down, obviously. You can also use these this was like pine. So I thought it looked adorable to use pine and other things that wouldn't be so easy to just put in your journal as is. I am in love with these. I have to say, I will, if you're interested, I will include the link in the description box. You don't have to make them just like this. You can make them upright. Like, how fun would it be? So I actually wrote in this one, how fun would it be to send somebody a Christmas postcard like this instead of just your like usual Christmas card, you know? And I sewed over these to give it some fabric trim. This one I actually put a recipe on. Like, how cool. And you could write on the back and send this to someone. And I used my little die cut margarita glass. This was a book page, which was the night before Christmas, and I decorated it with some little stockings and did some sewing. An ugly Christmas postcard. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put this aside so for the people who, and this was like a fashion one, so I put some threads and buttons in here. Well, a fake button, but still. I'm gonna set this aside for the next video where I show you guys a ton of Christmas ideas and inspiration. So hopefully if you don't, those of you who don't watch this entire video, I'll be coming at you with a ton of ideas just like this one. I hope you like it, or maybe you're like, that's the stupidest thing ever, but I love this. Okay, these are the Christmas, oh, I love making Christmas cottages. Guys, this is why I have so much Christmas stuff. Christmas cottages, you can make them paper clips, you can create pockets for extra little like journaling cards, or just glue them to a page. I love this so much. These are the gift card holders I made. Obviously this is too small for a gift card holder. I just used the same kind of concept and made some small little pockets. This one would be large enough for a gift card, obviously. And then the little stuffed envelopes with little journaling cards and little, you can put, if you're gifting any journals this year, you can make these little pockets, these stuff pockets for your recipient to journal with, and you can just pin this into the journal. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so cute. And I found the Pooh Bear paper pack and the Nutcracker paper packs I was looking at. Oh my gosh. This is so much fun, guys. Oh, adorable. Oh my gosh. These little stuff pockets. Okay, what else do I have in this bag? Because now this is getting me so excited about Christmas crafting, I can't even tell you. Okay, these little folios, these decorated pockets that I made with the cardstock. Any like Christmas crafting videos that I vividly remember making these things during, I will link in the description box. Oh, I love these little folios. Oh, I love these Christmas folios. Is this not adorable with a little charm on the back? Oh, this is so adorable. This belongs in my pink Christmas journal I made last year. I will be putting that in very shortly. I have never made a pink Christmas themed journal before. I did, and I absolutely do not regret it. More Christmas folios, more Christmas cottages, wrapping papers. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get through this whole bag. I see a lot of Christmas packaging, Tim Holtz papers, Christmas packaging, some more fabric. Oh my gosh, some digital images. So when I tell you I have way too many paper pads as is, I mean it. Some of these are even like other paper pads that are totally separate that I just shoved old like papers into other paper pads. Some of them, like this, came out of some kind of journaling kit that I had left over. A lot of them are like half used and kind of ripped out. Like I said, I don't even know if they belong. Like this obviously came from something completely different. My goodness. I do love this like classic vintage. Oh, see, so this is from a Trader Joe's bag, and I fussy cut, like, this is adorable. I love using packaging like this in journals. Every year I save part of Trader Joe's Christmas bag because you never know if they're gonna have the same ones the following year, and they are so cute. Okay, so you get the point. Like, I can barely even get to the paper pad. Oh, here's more stuff from another paper pad. So I have a lot of stuff I gotta use up, guys. Oh, okay, so these are digital images that I printed out. This is from a digital image kit I purchased a while ago, and I love this, but the theme was vintage Christmas wrapping paper. Oh my gosh, I have never sought out, like, every year I will go back into that kit and reprint some of those because they're just incredible. Doesn't that look like, it is, it's images of old wrapping paper. Oh my gosh, I think I might make a cover out of some, like, this just takes me right on back. Right on back. And of course you don't have to use them as cover or signature pages. You can fussy cut things out. That's the beauty of digital images. You can just keep reprinting them. But oh my gosh, I love this so much. Some construction paper. So I'm not sure exactly what Christmas journal I'm going to create this year. I've had a lot of feelings about it. I have a pink one from last year I haven't totally done. I'm not done with yet. So I'll definitely do some journaling in there. So that's the only thing I've excluded. I'm not doing another pink theme one right now because I did that one last year and I don't want to. I want to have a general journal that I can use a ton of different kinds of ephemera and do a ton of different layouts. I don't want to restrict myself because I have way too much stuff of different varieties. But really, aside from that, I don't know. I guess I will decide. I think I might want to do a scale it a little bit, something a lot more approachable, something more homey. I kind of want to, not that I don't do December dailies, but I would like to do a bunch of journaling about things that I'm going to be doing this month instead of having everything look kind of store-bought, you know what I mean? And so I want it to be sort of homey and have that like approachable feel to it. And so maybe I will actually make a journal out of a paper bag. I haven't done that yet. I've been thinking a lot about it. I have a ton of different kinds of covers. I love this Winnie the Pooh paper pad. I want something very general that I can, as you see, I have a ton of different themed stuff, a wide variety of stuff. And I want something that will go with all of the stuff that I have. So I think I might create a paper bag. I might do a video of craft a Christmas journal with me from a paper bag. I've been using paper bags as my journal covers a ton recently, and in fact, one of the last videos that I did, I created a faux leather journal from a paper bag, and just through a very simple process, I created something that looks and feels like leather from just a paper bag. I was really proud of myself. So I'm not going to do a faux leather journal again for this, but I will probably just use a paper bag in all of its glory and really elevate it and show you some ways to customize it, I think. See, I'm like talking myself into things. See, you guys got me on a roll though. Just looking through all of my old Christmas stuff, it just like really motivates me to craft. And really motivates me to use up some of this stuff. And like I said, it truly feels like Christmas because I forgot I had like half this stuff. Oh my gosh, I have to show you guys. This is a Christmas Paws paper pack. Oh, see, and I got some vellum. Look. Happy Holidays, and it has a ton of dog and cat themed stuff, which I love animals. Like, half of the joy I get from Christmas is watching my dog get his Christmas presents and open them, and us just cuddling on the couch in our matching Christmas pajamas, by the way, watching Christmas movies. Like, that to me is the best part of the season. So, yeah. Oh, and some more wrapping paper. So, I can't wait to use this stuff. I know this is very disjointed, but I hope I came at you with some ideas. I hope I've inspired you to maybe use your own stuff. I can't wait to get to crafting. I have so many plans for us, so many grand plans this season for Christmas crafting we're going to do here at Ink and Papyrus. I hope to inspire you a ton along the way. Please tune in for my next video. I think I'm just going to come at you with a ton of ideas and drag out all of my Christmas journals. And so I don't want to hear from any of you that you're lost, you don't know what to do this Christmas, you're out of ideas. Nonsense. We're going to help you out. And looking back at my old stuff, it also inspires me. It's actually something I do every year, is take out my old Christmas journals and look at the things that I've already done, see what I want to do better next time, and look back at covers and embellishments and page layouts, and it's truly an inspiring process for me. So I think that's what we will do next week. I hope to give you a ton of project ideas. If you enjoyed this and you found value in this and you want to see more of Ink and Papyrus, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you the next time.